somber, deep narrator voice begins, layered over the faint, echoing sound of distant drums and the whisper of wind across a savanna. The sun bleeds across the African horizon, painting the sky in shades of crimson and ochre. Here, where the land breathes and the dust tells ancient tales, lies a place forgotten by time. Luwezi Village. Smoke from dying fires curls into the twilight, a silent testament to the life that once thrived here. But now, a heavy quiet hangs in the air, broken only by the wind rustling through the tall grass, whispering secrets the earth refuses to forget. A lone traveler walks, a path worn, smoothed by generations of feet. He is a man in his 30s, his face weathered by sun and sorrow. In one hand, he holds a lantern, its glass clouded with age. In the other, a leather diary, its pages filled with the ghosts of another's journey. As he enters Luwezi, the silence deepens. Children peer from the shadows of cracked walls, their eyes wide with a fear they cannot name. Women retreat into the dark safety of their huts. Only one dares to meet his gaze, an old woman, her eyes as cloudy as a stormy sky. Her voice, thin and trembling, cuts through the stillness. The forest remembers everyone who enters. The traveler's gaze shifts to the distant tree line, where a thick fog drifts like the breath of some massive, sleeping creature. Night falls swiftly in this part of the world. The sky deepens to an indigo canvas, and the symphony of insects falls eerily silent. He lights his lantern, the small flame a fragile beacon against the encroaching darkness. He is drawn to the edge of the woods, pulled by a sound that rides the wind, a faint, rhythmic chanting, a melody of despair. He steps into the forest, and the world changes. The camera follows him down a narrow, winding trail. Roots twist across the path like serpents, and strange wooden idols, their faces worn by rain and time, lie half buried in the dirt. He opens his diary, the lantern light illuminating sketches of tribal symbols and a hastily scrawled note. Find the origin of the whispers. End the curse. This is not just a journey. It is a reckoning. The mist thickens, clinging to him like a shroud. The lantern's beam struggles to pierce the gloom, revealing faces carved into the very bark of the trees, faces that are distorted, mouthless, and weeping silent. Wooden tears. A sudden, cold gust of wind extinguishes his flame. For a moment, there is only absolute darkness, the sound of his own ragged breathing, and something else. Presence. Then, the whispers begin. They come from everywhere and nowhere. Dozens of overlapping voices, men, women, and children all, murmuring the same chilling words, leave before dawn. His hand trembles as he relights the lantern. Panic sets in, and he pushes forward, his pace quickening. The camera pans up, revealing a blood-red moon hanging like a wounded eye above the canopy. The drums return, their beat slow and deliberate, a heartbeat from a ritual long abandoned. He stumbles into a clearing, a perfect circle of stones arranged with unnatural precision. From the branches of the surrounding trees, bones hang by woven grass cords, swaying gently in the wind. And there, at the center of the circle, lies a mask, carved from polished ebony wood. It is stained with a darkness that looks like old blood. As his fingers close around it, the ground vibrates. The world dissolves into a maelstrom of color and sound. A vision seizes him. The forest is on fire, bathed in an infernal red light. He sees the Luwezi tribe, centuries ago, gathered around this same stone circle. A young priest, his face taut with concentration, holds the ebony mask aloft. He chants an ancient incantation, attempting to seal away vengeful spirits born from a terrible betrayal within their own ranks. But something goes wrong. A bolt of lightning, impossibly bright, strikes the altar. The ritual shatters. The spirits, instead of being imprisoned, are unleashed. They turn on the priest, consuming him, binding themselves to the woods forever. The vision shatters, and the traveler gasps, back in the present. But he is no longer alone. The clearing is filled with moving shadows, smoky silhouettes with glowing eyes and faces frozen in eternal agony. They circle him, closing in, their movements slow and predatory. He hears his name, not shouted, but breathed directly into his ear. A cold, intimate caress of sound. Terror, pure and absolute, floods him. He drops the mask and runs. The forest itself seems to turn against him. Branches tear at his clothes like skeletal fingers. The path twists and shifts, trying to trap him in its labyrinthine embrace. Behind him, the whispers grow, swelling from a murmur to a chorus, and finally to a deafening scream. Thunder cracks open the sky, and rain begins to fall thick, heavy drops that feel like tears. The lantern flickers, its light revealing fleeting glimpses of ghostly children standing between the trees, their eyes glowing with a cold, white light. He trips, falling hard near a small, dilapidated hut hidden deep within the trees. Impossibly, candles burn inside, their flames untouched by the storm. He scrambles inside, dripping water, his breath pluming in the cold air. The walls are covered in symbols drawn with ash. Same symbols from his diary. On a rickety table, beside a carved totem, lies a tattered letter. The English words leap out at him. If you hear them whisper your name, it's already too late. He looks up, catching his reflection in a shard of a broken mirror. But it is not his reflection alone. Standing behind him is the shadow of the priest from his vision. He spins around, but there is nothing there. The candles go out, one by one, plunging the hut into total darkness. A deep, inhuman voice speaks, the words resonating not in the air, but inside his skull. "We remember you, the blood that betrayed us." A final, blinding flash of lightning tears through the roof. The camera cuts to slow motion. The traveler opens his mouth in a silent scream as his lantern explodes in a sunburst of orange light. When the light fades, he is gone. Only the diary remains, open on the floor, its pageless fluttering in the wind that now howls through the broken hut. Morning arrives. The rain has stopped. The villagers of Luwezi creep to the edge of the forest, drawn by faint whispers carried on the breeze. The old woman from the night before walks forward. She finds the traveler's lantern, half buried in the mud, its flame still glowing with a weak, defiant light. She whispers a prayer, her voice filled with an ancient sorrow, and backs away. The wind answers her, carrying a single, chilling word. "Her name." The camera rises, high above the forest canopy. Mist descends from the treetops, like smoke from 1,000 ancient fires. The drums return, slower and heavier now. A final, mournful narrator's voice returns, somber and final. Some say the forest sleeps, others say it waits, but in Luwezi, the shadows never die. They just find new voices. They whisper to anyone who dares to listen. The screen fades to black. The haunting, tribal melody echoes and then fades, leaving only the sound of whispering wind.